Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I would like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. October is soon. If it were not for water, we could not live. If it were not for your help, I couldn't this job. If it were not for battery, I couldn't use my phone. If it were not for sushi, I couldn't imagine what kind of food I would eat today. If it were not for plane, how could you go abroad so quickly, so fast? If it had not been for your help, I couldn't have done it. Were it not for onigiri, what would you eat? Were it not for the sea, where would you swim? Where would you swim in? Were it not for baseball, which sports would you do? If it had not been for baseball game, which sports would you have done? Which sports would you have belonged to? Had it not been for water, human beings would have been eradicated. If it had not been for water, we would not be here now. Had it not been for music, would you die? Had it not been for violin, which musical instrument would you play? Had it not been for personal computer or internet, how would you communicate with people living in foreign countries so fast, so conveniently? Had it not been for cheaper room at the hotel, I would have changed my plan. If it had not been for better room at the hotel, I would have changed the hotel to another one. If it had not been for the flight earlier, I would have cancelled the plan. I would have cancelled the flight. If it were not for the space for parking, I would not go outside today. If it if it were not for a parking space near the event, could you search the space near the event? If it were not for earphone, I would not be able to enjoy listening to music now. If I had forgotten my earphone at my home, I couldn't be able to enjoy listening to music now. If it had not been for light, we cannot work as we could not work as smoothly as now. Our nightlife would be limited. If it were not for water, we could not live. If it were not for money, how would you get to the airport? If it had not been for money, I couldn't have bought the ticket to France. If it had not been for the plane, we couldn't fly to other countries as smoothly as now, as fast as now. If it hadn't been for your help, I might have been involved in the accident. Had it not been for your advice, I would be at loss on my way now. Had it not been for your advice about the trip and sightseeing, I would be being get lost now. Had it not been for your help to the ride to the airport, I would have missed the flight. If you were to fall from the bridge, it would be almost impossible to rescue you. If you were to fall from the tree, it would be very painful, you fear. If you should meet him at school, could you bring this document to him? If you were to fail the entrance examination, would you try it again? If you were to go abroad this year, which country would you go? If you were to fail the examination, what would you do next year? If you were to succeed in the examination, what would you do for your celebration? If you should meet your boss today at the branch office, would you be embarrassed? Would you be nervous? If you were to be scolded by your mother, would you cry? If you were to be taller than him in the near future, would you be happy? If you were to gain weight, would you get sad? If you were to succeed in losing your weight by 5 kilograms within this month, would you be happy? Would it be possible? If you should succeed in losing your weight by 5 kilograms within this month, will you be happy? Would you be happy? If I should succeed in passing the entrance examination, could you buy me PlayStation 4? If I were to succeed in passing the entrance examination, would you buy me PlayStation 4? If the bus were to be delayed more than 1 hour, what would your itinerary be? If the bus should be delayed more than 30 minutes, I might be late for the plane. If the train were to be delayed more than 1 hour, I would be late for the plane. If the train should be delayed more than 1 hour, I might be late for the plane. I might miss the plane. If I were 10 kilograms slimmer, I could ride it. If I were 10 centimeters taller, I could be a model. Were I 10 centimeters taller, I could be a model. If I were 10 kilograms faster, I would be a sumo wrestler. If I were 20 kilograms heavier, I would be a sumo wrestler. If I were 5 kilograms heavier, I would be best. If you were 10 kilograms slimmer, you would look best. You would look better. Okay, I will stop talking here. Thank you for watching my video. See you next time. Bye. Arrivederci.